So I find there's one critical mistake that many taxpayers make when they're trying to resolve a back tax balance owed with the IRS. They the problem is this: they first don't look to understand whether or not the balance owed is actually correct. Could they in fact reduce it? Now, the balance owed is made up of three components. It's taxes, penalties, and interest. Now, interest is usually not forgiven by the IRS unless they made an error that actually, or caused a delay that actually resulted in more interest owed. This is really rare. However, penalties and the actual tax is open. You can go ahead and reduce the amount of tax owed or qualify for penalty relief. Now, if the taxes owed are not correct, that means the IRS made an error in the assessment, or there's some resulting issue that caused the IRS to assess additional tax and they made an error like in an audit or CP 2000 matching notice, you should look to go ahead and perfect that. When you can file amended return, or if it's the additional amount is owed is as a result of an audit or CP 2000 notice, you can ask for reconsideration of those if the IRS made an error. Now, that's quick. You can lower the amount owed on any balance due year farther back than the normal 3-year statute of limitations. Now, penalties is the last issue, right? So a lot of people just don't look to reduce penalties. For example, many taxpayers don't take advantage of what's called first-time penalty abatement to wipe out the first year failure to file and failure to pay penalties. So you should look for that to go ahead and lower penalties before you pay the balance owed or enter into an IRS collection alternative such as a payment plan or a hardship alternative. Always look to lower the penalties. Another way to lower penalties is to do reasonable cause relief. If you have a reason outside of your control that caused you to owe the taxes that you could not pay that year, then you should potentially ask for reasonable cause relief for that tax year and tax form. Now, so when you're paying a back balance owed or setting up an IRS collection alternative, don't make this common mistake. And not address the balance owed. You want to pay more than you actually owe. So look to go resolve that first before you address the tax balance and get back into good standing with the IRS.